Welcome back, dude and dudettes, to another wild episode of Send It Mate. We're here to talk about all things hunting and outdoors. And today, we've got something that'll keep your gear running smoother than a dingo's getaway.
That's right. Our show is brought to you by High Caliber, the gun and knife oil company that knows how to keep your firearms and blades in tip-top shape.
High Caliber is like the secret sauce for hunters, anglers, and outdoorsy folk everywhere. It's like the magic potion that makes your gun and knives happier than a dog with two tails.
You know, guys, I've been using High Caliber oil for a while now, and let me tell you, it's the duck's nuts. My rifle practically sings a lullaby when I take it out hunting.
And speaking of lullabies, ever tried sneaking up on a deer with a squeaky gun? It's a prime way to end up with no venison in the freezer. You'll be hungrier than a vegan at a bacon festival.
Absolutely. But with High Caliber oil, your gun will be quieter than a ninja in moonlight. You'll be stalking your prey with the grace and stealth of a mountain lion.
High Caliber doesn't just keep things quiet, it also prevents rust and corrosion, so you won't find your gear looking like it's spent a season at the bottom of a creek.
That's right, and for you knife enthusiasts out there, High Caliber has got you covered too. Your trusty blade will slice through anything smoother than butter on a hot biscuit.
So, folks, don't let your gear become a rusty, squeaky mess. Head on over to highcaliber.com.au and grab a bottle of their oil today.
And if you use the code SENDITMATE at checkout, you'll get a special discount. I say again, use the code SENDITMATE for all your oil slick, stealthy hunting needs.
Thanks to High Caliber, you'll be sending it in style and silence.
So, gear up, oil up, and send it, mate. High Caliber, the ultimate oil for the ultimate hunter.
Yo! Welcome back, ladies and fucking germs, to another episode of Send It Mate podcast. I'm Josh.
I'm Caleb.
No, I'm Couchy.
We are not live this time, thank God.
No, not live.
We've caved to Josh's request.
You ever so we do jokes at the start, right? Do you ever
I know,
forget
I'm
jokes?
here every week. Hey?
Do you ever forget jokes? Like when you're about to say them, you can get the start and then you're like, I can't remember the punchline, fuck it.
Yeah.
Sometimes. I think I've done that on the podcast before, to be honest.
That's pretty much every one of my jokes I hear, I forget. So it's always the good ones too, you forget.
Yeah, that's true.
We've moved off performance anxiety though, Josh, so have you got one for us or not?
No,
For that reason.
just forgot it, man. Do you have one?
I got nothing.
You got nothing?
Nothing, man. Nothing prepared.
And I've got nothing as well. Aren't we slack?
This is a fucking terrible start.
I can give you a fucking joke of a situation that happened to me yesterday, though.
Go on.
It's an ND without being an official ND. It's just a gripe of mine.
You ND'd again?
No, just a fucking situation that pissed me off. I don't know if I was sort of out of line or I was just being a grumpy bastard or what, but to set the scene. So I have two sausage dogs and the breeder.
Well, there's a joke in itself.
Is that the ND? Like,
I have two sausage
one
dogs.
sentence in. Anyway, I have two sausage dogs.
went to buy a dog and bought it off Wish.
It was only the fucking third of the actual slide.
Not even the whole sentence that time.
No, he bought a Rottweiler off Wish and it rocked up and it was a sausage dog.
Oh, God.
Oh, shit.
Anyway, courtesy of my darling woman, I have two sausage dogs from the same breeder. So they're brothers, but they're like 3 litters apart. And anyway, so there's a Facebook group, like every litter of these pups, like everyone chats to each other. I fucking bail out. I don't give a shit. But they're nice people, so I sort of just go in and out where I can. And anyway, they set up this meet in town for everyone to come along and all the puppies and dogs to get together. So I'm like, cool. We went along to that on Sunday.
Was it a sausage fest?
It was a sausage fest. This is the first thing I said when I got up. I'm like, check out this sausage fest. Oh, yeah. I think I was probably the third person to make that joke as well. But it was kind of, it was kind of cool. Like, you know, there's like 20 sausage dogs running around. It was a bit of a laugh. And my favorite one there's one there called Slinky Dave. He was the fattest fucking dog I've ever seen. Its guts are on the ground. Not so Slinky Dave. Anyway, so this thing went on for a while, about an hour, and then as it was wrapping up, one of my kids decided they wanted to go to the toilet. So I'm like, okay, I'll took her over to the toilet block outside of the dog park, obviously. And as we were making our way back in, anyone who's been to a dog park, there's two gates. So fucking like the old airlock sort of type thing, there's one gate, another gate. So if a dog gets through, they can't get out. So I've gone through the first gate, no dramas, and then gone to open the second gate into the dog park, and there's 3 dogs lined up just trying to get out. And I'm just like, what? Anyone, like, get your dog? Like, so anyway, I opened the door, knowing the other one was shut behind me, and 3 dogs ran in. And then I sort of held the gate open. I'm like, oi, fucking get out. And they all ran out. And then I've turned around and there's this fucking dude just glaring at me, just like, what have you done? Like, why have you let my dog in there? And I'm going to myself like, fucking control your dog, like teach it some recall. Anyway, I shut the gate, moved on. Didn't think anything else of it at this point.
Are these dogs in that little, like, section in between the 2 gates now and you've just walked off?
No, they ran in between, and then I held the gate open and I was like, oi, get out. And the three dogs got out. And then I've turned around and this guy's glaring at me because I let his dog in there. Right. Anyway, 5 minutes later, we're all good to leave for good for the dog park. So both our dogs are in the lead. I'm walking out with my missus and 2 kids. And they've opened the gate, the first gate, to go out. And then we've all sort of shuffled through, the 4 of us. The first gate's still open. Then one of my kids has opened the second gate before the first gate's closed. And old mate's dog has just seized the opportunity and fucking piss bolted through both gates out to and run up to these other people coming into the dog park. He's then pushed past us all and fucking carrying on. And then he's run out and he's like, fucking some people, like just carrying on. And I'm like, fuck this cunt. Like just a grumpy fucker. And he's carrying on and swearing in front of my kids. Ironically, I was going to say to him, oi, do you mind not fucking swearing in front of the kids? But I had that split second of fucking anger where I was just like, nah, I'm just going to be a cunt. And the only thing I regret is swearing in front of my kids, which was ironically what I was going to have a go at him at. But I was like, oi, are you fucking all right, mate? You want to calm down? And he's like, I don't fucking care. Like, fucking letting my dog out. I'm like, they're kids, man. It was an accident. And he's like, I don't fucking give a fuck, mate. And I'm like, you're a fucking grumpy cunt, you dickhead. How about you fucking control your dog? And my missus just was not coping with this at this point. She's like ushering my kids away, not knowing if I'm going to get into a fight with this dickhead. And I'm like, get the fuck back in there, you grumpy cunt. Fuck off. Anyway, a whole heap of shit. I'm like, go back to the car. I'm like, I've just fucking blown up a bloke. Because he's cracked the shits because my kids have done the wrong thing and opened the gate, like the second gate. But they didn't know. Like I've been to the dog park with them 100 times and no dog is like ganged up at the gate looking to escape. But his dog was. So whatever, man. It's on him. Fucking he should train his dog better. If he ever listens to this, fuck you can't. But I was just like, what the hell? And I sort of thought, I didn't behave the best just then. But I'm like, I didn't like the way he was talking to me or the kids. So I sort of went a bit protective. But in doing so, I've kind of behaved exactly like him.
Bit of an ND from both parts.
Yeah. That was a bit of a joke situation, the old snag dog reunion. And
I like it though.
Nearly ended in a blue.
That'd be so funny if you had got a podcast here with a black eye and telling that story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have seen the other guy.
Yeah, totally.
I feel like both of you overreacted from that story.
Probably. I think if it wasn't for the original incident when he was giving me the hairy eyeball, and like I'm the one that let his dog in because I was just like trying to get in and this dog was just like fucking champing at the bit to get out. If it wasn't for the first thing, I probably would have been a bit calmer, but because he gave me the hairy eyeball on the first incident, I was like, nah, fuck you, mate. Why are you here? Like, keep your dog at home. Anyway, that's my story.
Yeah, that's fair.
That was a bit of a joke.
Look, your daughter's all opening at the door. That's an accident. But at the same time, man, it is a dog park. There's 2 doors for a reason. Like,
Yeah.
Sort
Can
of-
we stop calling it a door? The gates.
2 gates, sorry.
gates.
2 gates for
Yeah.
a reason.
You're killing me.
Like, it's just as easy for you to have harped onto your daughters and been like, don't open that door till this door's closed, just as much as it is for him to sort of get a bit of a handle on his dog. Knowing how your
but
dog acts and knowing
But when
how
you're
your dog
when you're
acts.
walking out, it's not like the kids were opening the door, the gate, randomly. It was on their way out, and people
Oh,
just
look.
fade.
There was
Just
like
some
3
common
other
sense a little bit.
people sort of going in and out at the same time, and it was like the split section. Like I was going through one gate, one of them got ahead, opened the second gate. Like you got 2 dogs going on. It's all happening. Like things.
Yeah,
it happens.
In my opinion, that little, like, what do we call it? Safety zone is kind of a bit small and tight for those things. Like, because in those moments, a dog could just race through.
Yeah,
It'd be good if it was like the width of the park, and you go in one side, walk down a corridor, and then come in the other bit. So you actually got a decent buffer,
Yeah, I'll get you.
and it wouldn't be a whole lot more extra to build.
or just fucking pay attention to what your dog's trying to do.
Yeah, or just
Wait
not
a
let someone come
second.
dog
Pay
out.
attention to what your daughters are doing.
Oh,
Like, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same thing. You just
Mate, you
trading
can't
a
even
girl
train
for
your
a dog.
daughters. How's he supposed to train his dog?
Look, I understand being a bit more assertive because you know that your dog's a runner. Okay, all right, just watch him and be a bit cautious. But at the same time, you're there in a group dog park. Okay, be a bit cautious about it, opening the gates. If you got kids, watch them, which I'm sure you were doing. But do you get where I'm coming from? It's
Yeah, no,
exactly the same thing.
don't get me wrong. There was a teaching moment where we were like, "Hey, girls, you have to make sure one gate is closed before the other one is open." Like 100% of the time, because not all the dogs are good, and it's never been an issue before. It's the first time there's been like a runner fucking ganged up at the gate, just looking to escape.
See,
I'd want to
really-
escape from that bloke too if I was its dog.
Really,
was it?
you should have said, mate, don't swear in front of my daughters. You should have gone with that first option because that would have cut him more than it was you carrying on, because you carrying on has basically affirmed in his head, in his own mind, that it's okay to swear and act like a dick in
No,
front of your
it wouldn't have
daughters.
affirmed. It would have
What?
just nullified the fact that there were kids about.
What I should have done is say, "Hey, mate, really sorry that happened, but can you not swear in front of my kids?" That's what I should have said, but I had that split second of the fucking just the line was crossed in my own head, and it's like in slow motion. You can tell I can go 2 ways here, and I chose far
Yeah, cat mum lost.
just because I wanted to take it out on someone. I think.
Which is unusual for you anyway, man, because you're pretty level-headed
No,
most of the
I'm
time.
going to say good on you.
Oh, hello.
It was good to hear.
Oh, look,
Get a bit of fire about you, Caleb.
I'm gonna say grow
I
up.
have it at times.
that's the other thing that you could say. All right, things that you can say to people in these situations that dig and hurt more. Grow up.
Oh,
You just throw that line. Grow up, and they're just like, shit, like that cuts into your soul.
I was going to be like, oh, maybe teach your dog some recall or something like that. I was like, no, I just choose to swear and carry on like a Neanderthal back at him.
It was more of a release from, I don't know. Did you have a bad day, Caleb? Just you needed that release.
Yeah, no, it was a combination of fucking shittiness.
Just build up from
just-
the weekend prior, mate.
I took it out on him. I fucking took it out on him.
Yeah,
He deserved it though. He was a
It-
fucking grumpy asshole.
The other thing
took a
is,
week to come out, didn't it?
this wouldn't happen if you didn't own sort of pompous little dogs that breed a certain stereotype of owner. It's not
Wait,
going to
was
happen
that
if you
dog-
get like
that guy's dog. Was that a sausage dog as well? Was that at where the event was?
Nah, fuck no. It was like a Boston Terrier or some shit.
I thought this was all from the same litter. Didn't you say it was like a get together?
It's a public dog park. There's other people there.
Oh,
Like,
so they didn't hire a venue.
no.
Right.
It's just a public dog park. So there's like all the sausage dogs from the breeder I bought them from. They've got 2 bitches, and one's had 1 litter, one's had 4. And so there was like dogs from different litters and the 2 different mothers, and whatever else. And then there was some random ones there as well. Like Slinky Dave was not from the breeders.
Do you reckon his original name was Stinky Dave? And then someone misheard it and they're like, oh, Slinky Dave's a cool name. He's like, yes,
I think
Slinky
he was,
Dave.
I think, I don't know. I think Slinky because in Toy Story the sausage dog is a Slinky.
Yes.
It is, isn't it?
But they were literally like, oh, this is Slinky Dave, not so Slinky anymore. The poor thing, like its fucking guts were just about on the ground. And those things have bad backs as it is, let alone carrying too much weight.
Says the sausage dog owner.
But if the guts are
yes.
touching the ground, he's not carrying the weight.
He's just fucking rubbing the end of his cock off.
It's more of like a midpoint. It's just
Yeah, can you
got
imagine the
support.
gravel rash? Poor dog.
You know, it's a burden some people have to bear, Josh, of their fucking dick dragging on the ground.
At least you've got a dog.
Oi. I was well, if you're gonna make that joke,
Too
I
soon,
was
but
gonna say
it's your
that
joke to make.
we all knew a dog that fucking didn't listen to their owners. To their cakes.
Thanks, man. Thanks a lot.
But I was gonna keep that quiet. But yeah, he fucking loved the bolt.
He did. Bear, rest your soul, was a bolter. Yeah. He calmed down sort of latter years, but I didn't leave the door open, that's for sure, for him to bolt. I didn't test the waters after he got hit by a car many years ago. And he didn't die then. He obviously died a week ago, or 2 weeks ago. Not from the car accident. Jesus.
He just had fucking pre-existing injuries for 3 years. Finally gave up.
Oh, longer than that, man. That would have been like 5 years ago he got hit by a car. That was,
Crikey.
Was that when we were living together? He didn't get hit then, did he?
Nah.
No, that 5 years ago. That was probably
Nah. And like he escaped twice. The first time he got hit by a car. The second time we're running up the main road just down from our house and it's like peak hour and he's not running on the sidewalk, is he? No. He's running in the middle of a double lane road in peak hour. Just running up.
lane split.
Like,
That's funny.
I don't know. Just he had that mind of just wanting to run.
Yeah, I had a dog that did
Is
that.
there any reason why he wanted to run, Josh?
He kept playing with
Did
his
you take
balls
him
all
for
the time.
walks?
Well, that time I was living with you, so I was probably running from you, mate.
Nah, he fucking ran to me.
Some jars of peanut butter that used to go missing.
Yeah, I never understood why there were so many peanut butters bought when we lived together.
Caleb likes it
I never
so
saw
much
him.
he bought a second dog.
There was always this void in the centre. And I was like, I don't know why he gets it from the centre all the time.
Who scoops it from the middle?
Still spread it on his fucking toast, though.
It was only slightly bigger than a pen. Like,
Syringed it out.
yeah.
I love eating peanut butter with a fucking spoon, mate. I don't know about you, but like you know how some people have the whole Nutella thing and they'll eat Nutella by a spoon.
Yeah,
Nah,
pretty
for me
much
it's peanut butter.
20-something white women. That describes all of them.
Yeah, basically. Just most women.
Eat Nutella by the jar.
Yeah, peanut butter's the way to go, mate. Oh shit, yeah.
I can't do it, eh? Like too much sweet stuff, you just feel sick.
Peanut butter's not sweet,
Yeah.
mate.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. Get the
I thought-
natural shit, not the fucking craft.
Peanut butter, I wouldn't say sweet, no.
Oh, he's
It's not sweet.
outnumbered.
I meant more like Nutella than peanut butter.
That was sweet.
I've never
Like,
eaten
yeah.
a jar of peanut butter. I've had
Couldn't-
a spoonful.
Couldn't do Nutella, but you remember as a kid they'd come in the little packs with a little paddle and you'd Nutella and you could fucking
Just
eat
a little
it.
one serve sachet thingy.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't remember the name of them, eh?
Nutella. Like literally.
That's
Nutella.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was thinking of fucking like La Snacks or Lunchables or fucking
Nah, not quite.
Yogos or something like that.
They should have done
What,
that.
you're talking
with
about
peanut butter.
your tiny teddy dips or something? They had Nutella in it, I think.
No, we were too poor to get tiny teddies, mate. We were too poor to get Nutella as well. That's all right.
I really didn't get prepackaged shit when I went to school. Like I got fucking an apple, a sandwich
You went to school for a fucking second.
for second.
Like the one day that you were there. I didn't get prepackaged shit. No, your mum made a gourmet meal because you were there for a day.
She didn't, bro. She didn't, though. Fucking hell. I think I've told this in the podcast before, but one day it was 40 degrees and she made me salmon dip. She just made me a salmon dip sandwich. And I was like, fucking hell, is she trying to get me to make my own lunches? Like 40-degree day. And back then, like your bag would just sit on a hook on the outside of the classroom.
Oh, yeah.
Holy
Just
fuck.
roast, yeah.
And then just get to this sandwich, it's just like just wet bread with salmon.
And you
dip in
ate it, though,
I'm like,
didn't you?
Mum, I don't even like salmon, let alone this. And I made my own lunch after that. I think it was
So he went home after recess and made his lunch for lunch and then fucking left school together.
fucking hell.
It was a trying
Just the
day.
last straw.
That cunt went straight in the bin.
Oh, yeah, that's what I don't
Didn't have time
do.
for school when he had to make his own sandwiches.
Hey?
Didn't have time for school when he had to make his own sandwiches.
Of course. Gourmet lunches, mate.
He missed the bus.
Did you trade anything like at lunches?
Oh, shit, yeah, man. My favourite was those. So I had a friend, Brandon Goy, I think his name was. I can't remember. But his mum used to give him those noodles and he'd just put the
Yes.
seasoning on and eat them dry.
Oh, like the mammy noodles.
Yeah, I can't remember. They had a
Mammy.
picture of like some purple fucking monster or
Mammy.
I don't think it was Mammy.
Yeah.
Is MAMME.
Nah.
It was fucking
Yeah, that was
mammy
the
noodles.
rave.
Fucking hell. If I
Yeah,
Googled it now, you'd see a monster. Mammy noodles.
It was Mammy. It was
Nah.
Mammy.
I don't know. I didn't get them.
Yeah.
And I used to trade for them, but I had nothing to trade. So I'd fucking, if you found like 50
Robbie.
cents or a buck on the ground or something like that, you'd trade him a packet of lollies that you bought from the canteen for him. Even
You
though the
would have searched
canteen
fucking
sold them.
hard for that dollar, though. You would have been just devoting your time in the morning to finding this coin.
You
So
really
you can
didn't
get-
have to, man. Back then, kids, they'd just get their lunch money, put them in the pocket, and then they'd go into the monkey bars, like get up on top of them, and all the money would fall out. So you just go to the monkey bars, just like sort of scratch around with your feet, and you'd be like, oh, a buck, sick. I'm going to go get a custard tart and something else. No, that wasn't it.
Fucking mammy. MAMME.
That's not it.
It's literally a monster.
Nah, that's not it.
There was nothing else.
There was nothing else.
There was Maggi noodles.
No one else made noodles.
Could have been Maggi noodles, actually.
Could have been, but they didn't really have a purple monster on it.
What
Yeah. The monster was Mammy, but then there was Maggi noodles as well.
What'd you trade for the day that you were there? Your salmon sanger for what?
I had nothing to trade, man. That's the thing. Like, cunts
No, I
cunts
didn't
used to
trade
have
either.
fucking
Same thing.
roll-ups used to get traded.
Yeah.
And then Tarzos were a thing.
yeah.
You remember Tarzos?
Tarzos were awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I didn't get fucking packs of chips, did I? So I didn't get Tarzos. So I just used to go play basketball and football.
This
He
is
wants
why
some
you are
Tarzos
the way
now.
you are.
No, I don't. I mean, my school were big on basketball. We all played basketball, so that got traded, but not for food.
Is that why you didn't go to school
Seaman
anymore?
sounds
'Cause you were
like it
shit at
got
it?
traded.
Hey,
Seaman sounds like it got traded. Fucking played basketball. It's their fucking school sport.
it was a good after-school sport, actually.
He was still terrible at it.
Basketball's good.
It was a perfect after-school sport. Like, it's 45 minutes, like games straight after school.
Fair enough. What about you? What did you trade?
No, I didn't trade anything, again, I didn't really have a whole lot to trade. It was quite basic.
So,
I got.
so I was a smart one that looked for fucking coins on the ground.
Yeah.
Used to just sat
I don't know
there.
what. Yeah,
Josh
I don't know how you degraded so far over the last 30 odd years, but yeah, it sounds like you used to smart as a kid.
I'll pick up bottles now. No, I don't. I don't believe in
He still,
recycling.
still
actually.
trades cock for cash.
Settle down, basketball. You're a fucking 5'9" basketballer.
At least you know how tall I am. Only because you're trying to grow to be as tall.
Oh shit! Life was so simple back then, man. Like dead set. You get to the lot school. You'd mess around. You go to class. You'd be hanging out for lunch and recess, and then you after school you'd wait around for 6 hours for your mum to pick you up. that was my
I never had that. I had a bus, but anyway.
Oh dear. It was pretty good. I got into a bit of trouble as a kid actually. I cut the You know the horns, like your lunch and recess sirens. I cut them so they didn't go off.
While at lunch or something.
No, this was before school. Because me and my mate used to get there heaps early. And the verandas, like, because it was sort of like dug in the actual school buildings, and then like, I guess just out from the veranda, like the earth or the terrain sort of peaked up a little bit. So you could almost walk from like the hill straight onto the veranda. I'm not describing
Where'd you go to
well.
school, Cooper Petey?
No, almost, Gawler. So you could pretty much just get to the...
It was a dungeon under their house, and that was their school.
It was Catholic school, so it's close. But you could just walk straight onto the roof, and then the horns were there, and you're like, oh, well, if we cut this wire, the horns don't work anymore. Not knowing anything about hardwired electricity either.
But that's quite stupid, because a smart kid would have done it during recess or lunch and extended their break.
No one's fixing
took
it.
away your break.
Bro, no one's fixing it. Like, I still remember that morning. The bells didn't go off, so no one went to class, and the teachers finally came out like an hour like after we were supposed to be in class, ushered everyone in. And then obviously every kid's watching like the clock for lunch and recess. So as soon as it's time, they're like, Mister, it's lunch. Bolting outside and then just sticking around for an extra 20 minutes for lunch or whatever until the teachers ushered everyone in again. It was a fun day. I probably shouldn't incriminate myself actually on the podcast.
I really don't think anyone gives a shit now.
No.
Yeah, isn't there a period of fucking, what is it called, where you can't actually be done for what you've done?
Oh,
like 20 years.
You're just going to say statutory rape. I don't think that's the thing.
No.
That's your
no, it's a limit. It's a statute of limitation. Something like that.
Yeah, that's one.
It's like, I know in the States it used to be 7 years in like the early 1900s because guys would commit. I've read a few stories. Guys would commit crime, say in like a major city. We'll say for argument's sake, New York, and then they'd move out to the country and they go get a job on a farm. And 7 years later, they just go back and move to the city because it was past that time frame that they could get charged.
Pay the system.
I don't think it was for like majoring crimes, like murder or whatever.
I dare say it depend on the severity of the crime to how long they're going to give you.
Oh, don't know. Either way, back then it would have been so easy to just assume a different identity and fuck off. Before computers, before the internet, before fingerprints, like before all that shit, like you're pretty much relying on someone having a photograph or recognizing you to get caught. And if you're the other side of the country, your fucking chances are pretty good.
Yeah, that's true.
Or like, the fact of if you aren't seen, you're done. You're good.
Oh, exactly.
I feel if you trained your mind not to respond to your birth name, and even if you were on the other side of the country and someone did recognise you, because there's still a chance, and yelled out your name, and if you didn't react to it, and then they come up to you and said, "Oh, Jimmy, how are you?" "Oh, I don't know who you're talking about, man." Like,
this is triggering a fucking thought of a movie.
It is, actually. I'm trying to think
what it is. Maybe Great Escape.
No.
Oh, no.
Sick movie.
He just speaks to him in English rather than German in The Great Escape.
Yeah, he does.
They're on like the train or something.
Yeah, that's how he busts him.
Fuck, that's a good movie I haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah. We used to watch that a lot, Bill.
All the time.
Have you seen it?
No, I don't think I have.
Right.
Mate, it's classic. Right? Jesus. Sorry to everyone's ears. I don't know if that was on.
What was that?
I don't know if it was distorted and not in tune.
It's a song. It's like the song, the Great Escape song.
Yeah, it's
okay.
Pretty famous theme song.
Mm.
Great movie. When does it happen? Inglourious Bastards. He says something in English.
No, it's a hand gesture.
Oh, the fucking the fingers.
German is, or English was like that, and German's like that for the number 3.
Yep.
You can't say like that because fucking no one can see you.
Right. So English or American, it's your 3 fingers in the middle of your hand, but the German way of doing it is your pinky and the next 2 fingers along.
Yeah.
That's how they signal 3, and that's how they caught him out.
Yeah.
You're pretty much doing the OK symbol. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, yeah.
But I feel like there's a movie where someone says their actual name and catches them out because they like turn around.
There is.
Ah.
There is. I'm picturing like an airport or something in LA or I don't know.
Is LA your go-to if you just don't know?
That
Nah,
was New
like
York before.
it's a movie. Like I think it's like LA or
Catch Me If You Can, maybe.
Cali or something like that. Yeah, no.
That's another good movie. Catch Me If You Can. with
Catch Me If You Can's good.
Leonardo.
And 2.
What?
Back,
Yeah.
There's
there's
a
a
2?
I
second
think
one.
there was a 2.
Fucking
There was a second
no.
one. Wasn't that The Magician?
Catch Me If You Can.
No, that's Now You
No.
See Me.
That's Now You See Me. Catch Me If You
Ah,
Can
fuck.
is Leonardo DiCaprio and Tom Hanks,
Mm.
where he's the
Yeah, okay.
con man.
Back in the days
Yes.
when you could write a
Ah.
check, forge a check, and
That's-
cash a check.
There's the other thing you could do back then. Create a different identity and just invent money from nowhere.
Oh, you can still do it now. It's just controlled for the 1%ers.
Or those who have the ability because they're fucking nerds to the nth degree.
Nah, I think it's all just controlled to the 1%ers, and they'll just make money. Fractional lending, mate. It's a fucking scam.
Is it just?
Fucking kind of sounds like
Okay.
a conspiracy to
What do
me.
you know about it?
Imagine if you have $1,000 in your bank. This is where I was trying to
Fucking look at us
get
all.
to
Just
this.
like, I love how we just made a thing out of who can start the Segway now. Just mentally masturbating about how to fucking Segway.
And we're getting nowhere with it. Continue, Josh.
Hey,
Continue.
Continue.
I was just saying, imagine if you had $1,000 and it was legal for you then to essentially lend 10 times that amount with only $1,000 in capital. And then that person that you lent it to, they could then lend out another 10 times the amount and so on and so forth until, you know, there's 100 times the worth out there in the world of what you're actually holding. Fractional lending in a nutshell, essentially. I'm sure there's a fuckload more to it, but that's essentially what happens. The Federal Reserve, say, has $10 million and then they lend out that to the bank or just a general bank, and that bank then can pretty much lend out multiple times what they have.
Interesting.
That's my understanding of fractional.
It's not really a conspiracy though. It's
No,
just
no,
a
that's how it
fucking
works.
rort.
That's a fact.
Yeah, that's just how it works. It's fucked up. I don't get it. So they're just creating ones and zeros in a computer and have no backing behind it, really. So
Interesting.
I do wonder if there's the amount of debt that's in the world. Well, clearly, there's not actually enough money in the world to pay for that debt. There isn't really in the,
It'd be interesting to know the
Western
actual
world.
total world's debt compared to the total world's wealth.
I feel like that's something that we could.
Because
Google.
there should be a comparison between the two, and there shouldn't be lopsided with debt over wealth
There shouldn't.
if it's going to make sense. But you know it's not going to make sense. But yeah,
There shouldn't be. Actually, this brings up something.
But in the fractional lending model, then potentially yes, there's more money lent out than is actually in existence.
yeah.
That,
So
well,
it'd
there
be
is.
the
Yeah.
the debt would be way above
Debt
what
would
the total wealth
outweigh.
is, I reckon.
Yeah, I would have thought.
Oh, hang on.
Hang on, what's going on? Hello, what's happening?
I can get into my phone.
He's got a message. Got a message from the missus. He's got to fucking chuck a few emojis up.
It does. What are you googling, Josh? The world debt clock, which we've looked at before on the podcast.
No, you didn't. You look at the global debt is $305 trillion US in 2022. Okay.
So the global debt is in US dollars, yeah.
What's the global wealth in circulation?
Just do global debt versus global wealth. and you'll get it in the same one
Hey,
because we'll forget the first number.
there's a man who Googles. Nah, because it's 305 trillion. Anyway, while Josh's fat finger types, there's an answer.
Is there?
First one, Josh. What is the world debt to wealth?
Oh,
The first thing. No, back. That one. What is the world debt to wealth?
Jobs are still learning how to use a phone, mate. That's why he buys an iPhone, so it helps him. For anyone that uses iPhones out there.
Okay, so this puts it in per person.
yeah.
So read that bit.
This translates to 37,500 of average debt for each person in the world versus the GDP per capita of just 12,000. Government debt to GDP leverage grew aggressively by 76% to a total of 102% from 2007 to 2022. The projected global debt to GDP ratio could reach 366%
Holy
in
Jesus.
2030.
I wouldn't have thought it'd be that bad.
Oh, fuck.
366
So, like, without
times.
laughing, read that last sentence again because I missed all of it.
The projected global debt to GDP ratio could reach 366% in 2030.
Fuck. Currently, it's what? No, currently it's 300, isn't it? Ish. Because it's 3-to-1 ratio.
Well, it said it rose to a total of 102% from 2007 to 2022.
So that means it's double.
It shows a problem
It's double.
Fucking
in
hell.
a short period of time.
It's saying by 30, it's going to be 366 times more debt
Yeah,
than wealth
than wealth.
or than GDP.
That's cool.
Fuck. How is any of this sustainable? It's not.
Well, it's 366%. Doesn't mean 366
No, it's a
times.
ratio. So it's 1 to 366.
Yeah, okay. All right. So Josh read that wrong.
Well, it said ratio.
No, I didn't.
Okay. But you said 366%.
No. The first one was in percent. It was
Yeah.
102%.
That's crazy. Like, how can that be sustainable?
No, it's not. This is where we need to go back to working immediately for your outcome. Like, you till land, plant some crop or some fruit or something like that, and then you're getting what you've sowed essentially. And that's what you need to live.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you need to live.
So you trade.
Yeah, well, to me, trade's better. Or even just gold-backed currency, I think, better than...
Yeah, but if you have gold and trading system as well, so therefore you can trade just for your example, your wheat or barley or whatever you farm, and you trade that for meat and other things that you could use. And then you could also trade that for gold, which gold would probably be wider spread for like your tools and your whatever to run your farm or workshop or whatever you're doing.
House or whatever. Yeah.
But it'd create a lot more honesty and probably integrity with what you do.
We touched on it once before, I reckon, on the podcast, and that was around the theory of a resource-based economy rather than a financially based economy.
Yeah.
So there's a thing that was sort of drummed up by this guy called Jacques Fresco back in the day, which I did read a bit about when I was in uni, actually. It all made pretty good sense. Like, basically just reeked of socialism, but not for greedy purposes. Like, it was actually designed to make it equal for everyone without, overarching government like going to gain from it. It was just to help everyone, basically.
Mm-hmm.
It did make sense, but yeah, I think we decided then on our podcast that just changing from how it is now to that it's going to take a fucking complete reset and start over again. You're not going to be able to phase.
You wouldn't be able to do it. You wouldn't be able to do it voluntarily.
There's no phase.
And get everyone on board.
You'd have to give up some technology to live in a lesser model of society as well. I think technology sort of grows that impulse to buy new things, keep current with the world trends, sort of very materialistic.
Yeah,
That system seems to benefit like your lower class people that are your workers,
well, it's
and it doesn't benefit your 1%ers.
no, fuck no. That's equalization across the board to make everyone have the right amount of resources they need. You know, everyone is on an equal playing field. No one's like an elite and they get this much and you only get this. Everyone gets everything they need. We're all equal. We all coexist in harmony. The fucking 1%ers aren't going for that. Your Zuckerbergs and fucking Musks of the world aren't going to be like, I'm giving up my billions and billions and my fancy toys. Like, I've earned this. I'm not giving all that up so some other fucking poor cunt can live like I do.
Yeah, they'll build the empire again and have people working for them. They'll create the same system.
Greed will fucking creep in somewhere. It's like human nature. Like someone decides, I can get more of this than that person and get power and blah, 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 blah. It's going to take a massive reset, like catastrophic event where everyone has nothing and it has to start again.
But the way that
doesn't
debt
sound
to
good.
wealth is actually adding up, then you wouldn't think it'll take too long.
Well, eventually
to get
there'll
that
be
reset.
a tipping point, definitely.
Fucking hope.
I don't think we're there, but eventually, yes. It'll either be that or suddenly the wealthy will just have more and the poor will die off over attrition.
We are, and not to get too tinfoil hat, which incidentally is the title of this episode, but we can see it. We talk about it all the time. It's slowly creeping in more and more and more. Is the government's making it, or not impossible, but they're hamstringing, making it harder for people more and more to provide for themselves through, you know, banning bow hunting or trying to take away firearms or
Gardening.
like taking away people's independence. And
Or creating too much of a convenient lifestyle to really want that independence.
yeah, suckling on the government's teat and not being able to provide for yourself. That's not what the government wants.
And putting rules in for safety. That, I think, fucking has destroyed our industry here in Australia is risk mitigation. Like your mines, we've got a couple of mates that have worked in the mines and they're like, for a lecky to do a 5-minute job, there's 3 days of waiting while paperwork gets done and things get shut off. And look, I understand the need for being safe, but then there's being overcautious. And then that's obviously
It's a hard one because like no one should need to go to work and then something happens wrong and they die just because they didn't want to implement some sort of induction systems and precautions to stop that.
You sound like the union, bro.
No, but like it sounds like, I guess.
No, I don't believe that. I believe that if you live, there's a level of risk and that you need to be acceptable or happy with accepting a certain level. And yes, that can be mitigated, but should it be mitigated and enforced by the government? No, because then that just compounds how much the government then increases those hurdles and, you know, stops sort of almost production or minimises production.
Well, it's going to get to a point where it's getting to the point where it's over-regulated and I can't think of the right word, but too many policies and stuff like that sort of create things to be too hard and to take too long to be feasible to actually continue doing it. So there's going to be reach that point where we're going to find our limit and either wind things back a little bit or it just becomes unattainable.
We say this is part and parcel of what I think the 1%ers of the world want, and that is to make it difficult and to take away our freedom and liberties, to provide for ourselves, that they then have more power and authority over your everyday life to the point where you just exist.
Yeah, but then like that, like your example you're given was the mines.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't help that helps the 1%ers. So like them rules are actually hindering those 1%ers. They're covering their own ass for legal reasons. But those jobs and all that, they help the 1%. You get paid well doing so, only because you make them shitloads. So it's sort of in that retrospect, it's kind of the opposite. If you took away the regulations, they'll actually probably make more money, but there'll be more injuries. Therefore, it wouldn't be so.
No, I don't think so, because then,
Strongly looked
then
at by the public.
They can't justify spending an extra 3 days worth of labour because they're not waiting 3 days to do a 5-minute job and cutting productivity down. Instead, they're just getting the job done, getting it out the door. So, okay, then the price is justifiably going to be less because there's less labour involved.
Yeah, but the cost of being sued would outweigh the lack of productivity. And then also the other thing is, like, most of these companies are publicly listed and they're shareholders. So if you want your so there's the perception of that company in the market as well. So if you're seen to be a bit shady and cutting corners, your stocks are going to drop because people are, well, these guys don't care about health and 3 people have died. Well, there's less faith in that company, and then your share value is fucked.
I'm not talking about not mitigating risk. I'm just saying not make it consume every minute of every day. I mean, let's face it, man. Like, obviously this farrier work, every time I get underneath the horse, that's it. I could be kicked, break some ribs, worse.
Jizzed on.
Doesn't really matter. But you know what? I accept that risk for the reward of getting paid. Okay? I personally take some responsibility and do things to mitigate that risk, but it doesn't cut down the time that I'm doing it. It's just, okay, bit of habit. So we start introducing that sort of mindset, you know, on a mass scale in other jobs.
Very different environment though. Like if you did farrier work in an office for a major company, you wouldn't do half of what you do. I'll tell you that right now.
No way.
Because there would be people in there going, well, there's a repetitive strain injury waiting to happen. There's a lower back injury waiting to happen. Like all this stuff you do, which is manual labor and lifting and positioning of yourself and repeating tasks and all that sort of stuff, for a major company, you would not do any of that stuff because there's too much of a risk.
Okay, so you're now just accepting the fact that the world is the way it is and we're not going to change because you're not willing to change your own personal mentality.
No, I'm not agreeing with it, man. I'm just saying that there used to be a thing.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about in general, okay? Yes, companies aren't willing to do this, but, okay, the lower individuals start changing your mindset and doing it and working your way into higher levels of the company and changing it from a higher level.
It won't work. It's all about public perception.
But we're going to get back there eventually if the monetary system collapses or whatever collapses. We're going to get back to that state eventually where risk is not mitigated anymore or less because people will find that they're just going to have to do to make ends meet.
I think that's when if just say something does happen, like a catastrophic event that causes a reset to the world, it'd be a change in perception of human life and its value. Therefore, you would probably be willing to
I'm not saying
put away safety.
So that's wrong because all human life is precious, but just existing is a level. You got to accept some level of risk. I mean, for fuck's sake. You could cross the road and get hit by a bus, just existing, just going to the shops to get food. You could get, if you live in some countries where there's predatory animals, like just going out of your house to take a shit, you could get eaten by a bear or something, mate. Like, okay, that's a level of risk that you have to just accept, man. Like, you know, you've got to accept it. You mitigate it with, okay, maybe not shitting at night, maybe, you know, putting a small fence up or a small building to shit in, or something like that.
Common sense, man. There used to be such a thing as common sense. That's what's gone out the window. Yeah. And then guys would be like, "Oh fuck, I got injured. I did something stupid, but I'm going to sue this company." And that's a lot of the reason why all this stuff is in place, is because once upon a time, common sense was more common, and well, the onus was on the individual. You fucked up. You did the wrong thing. That's why you got injured. Whereas now is like you got to fucking compensate for the lowest common denominator, put all these things in place.
Tell him not to.
Yep. And well, it's your fault because exactly right. You didn't tell him not to do that stupid thing. How was he supposed to know that was stupid?
All right, so we're fucked. That's
We're
it.
fucked. We're fucked, man.
The world's done. All right, good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Reset. Good night. Bye.
We're all fucked.
Elvis has left.
Is he actually leaving?
He's fucked off. I don't know what he's doing. He's left his phone though.
Oh, it can't be that important.
And now it's time for what was said when Josh was out of the room.
That's been an interesting podcast so far. I didn't expect it to go this way.
Oh, it's interesting, eh?
Ah,
We've,
gotta love a good conspiracy.
I actually don't know where Josh is at right now. I'm assuming he's just gone for a piss. He's gone through a few beverages. I've tried something different tonight. I've gone the Mercury hard ciders. I don't usually drink cider, but they were fucking cheap. And a mate of ours
The
drank
amount
some.
of shit that you two give me for drinking ciders.
Look, I don't hate ciders. It's just,
Probably mainly Josh,
it's
but
not,
yeah.
it's not my go-to. And I thought, oh, these ones are crushed blackcurrant. I might go with that. They just taste like fucking cider. Anyway, they're 8.2% alcohol, so let's get on board with some more conspiracies. Where'd you go?
Oh, there's too much risk in this room, so
You mitigated it.
no, I just put in a claim to see you.
That was quick. Fucking modern technology.
You left your phone behind and you somehow put a claim in. All right.
You wouldn't have even Googled a lawyer in that amount of time, let alone put in a claim.
Respect.
But yeah. Anyway, we are talking about some conspiracies or some tinfoil hat type things tonight. Maybe we'll get the juices flowing a bit more because I like where this is going. I've just had an idea then. Maybe we'll roll through some quick, like a list of the common ones. I've got another list I want to talk about, but I just have a list of some common conspiracy theories. I just want a quick vote whether you think like bullshit or legit.
Okay.
So first one, 9/11.
Is this better than the Just Joshing segment that we used to do?
Let's call it
Nice.
Caleb's conspiracies. I don't know. I don't know. Camp
Caleb's coochie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway,
All right, first one. And these are all real common like conspiracy theories. 9/11, actual just a terrorist attack, or was there something deeper like US government responsible? What do you reckon? Quick vote around the room.
does it have to be one way or the other, or can you like give it a variation?
Just give your fucking take on it in a sentence.
Because I was thinking about this today, actually. I have a feeling it wasn't like 100% set up, and it wasn't 100% terrorist either. I reckon the government knew about it, let it happen, because they saw the advantages of having it happen.
I agree with you.
You're both going to get whacked fucking when you fucking got your cock in your hand in a public toilet tomorrow. So no comment from me. I don't know, man.
Whacked. Like if I've got my cock in the hand, that's exactly what's happening.
No, whacked as in fucking someone's going to cap you.
What a way to go.
Why don't you just say someone's going to cap you then?
I mean, I'd love to die with my cock in my hand, to be honest. So bring it on.
Look, man, I think
there's
what
more than
Cashy
meets
said.
the eye. More than meets the eye. So I don't think that the US government had no fucking idea and it was purely just a terrorist attack that happened. I think there was some inside knowledge from the higher ups. Or
Yeah,
like
I reckon it was almost. You see, like the Sorry to turn this into a bigger segment. You see the photos and stuff of like the 45-degree angle cuts on the well, it melted, but like the 45-degree angle cuts on the main support beams of the towers.
yeah.
And yeah, it was somewhat helped.
Put it this way, like at the time I was like, holy fuck, the terrorists, oh my God. And like, what are we? I was what, fucking 14 at the time?
Yeah, I was grade 7, I think.
So you're like, oh, wow, the terrorists are the enemy. And sure, that's exactly what the media narrative wanted you to believe back then, to justify then a war on whatever they wanted for whatever purposes. But I think especially now after going through COVID and realising how much the government just fucking do stuff for nefarious purposes to control people, I don't think it's out of the question that was another example of an event that happened to then take something from the general public. Like what happened after that? Like all of a sudden there's fucking body scanners and security and fucking Big Brother. Like that was the catalyst for all that stuff rolling out, which is exactly what the government wanted. More control, more eyes in every fucking place at once.
There was I read somewhere that they reckon that they let it happen or made it happen so they can get across there for oil and opiates.
Yeah, possibly, man. Everything's about resources, without a doubt.
There's plenty of links that are fucking weird though, like the Bush family, the Bin Laden family. Like, because not all the Bin Ladens are fucking terrorists.
Well,
speaking of fucking, it's not Bush, but it's Bill Gates. So there was a malaria. There's 5 people that contracted a malaria in Texas.
after he released it.
Yeah. It's been, what was it, 5 years ago? He released genetically modified mosquitoes into those areas.
Yeah.
And then now there's cases coming out with malaria.
Yeah, surprise. Getting back on the
Getting
9/11. Look, I have heard various articles about how Bin Laden's brother was in Washington DC the day of the attack happened, and was in talks with the US government for trade agreements and things. I don't know how true that is. This is the other thing. None of us are ever going to know the truth behind this, so it's always going to be speculation. But
it's fun.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Yeah. Oh, look, it is, and it makes you. It does.
They were in cahoots with America for ages, because America were funding them against the Russians when they tried to invade.
Fucking oath.
The Mujahideen. Yeah.
So
the Bush family, as far as everyone said, was close with, what's his name?
Bin Laden.
Bin Laden. Yeah, the Laden family. I don't know what you call it. Yeah.
All right, we'll keep it breezy. Next one. Princess Diana.
100%.
She got whacked
Yeah.
because the royal family didn't like her, or just genuine car accident?
I reckon Harry and Meghan they'd be biting their time, man. Or they've somehow fucking.
Well, they've escaped the royalty sort of threads, I think. But anyway, start topic. I think it was influenced by the royal family, but it wasn't actually caused by it.
Nah, 100% it was MI6. Without a doubt,
I think it was
man.
Just probably due to the stress and harassment.
I reckon she got whacked. I reckon she was too much of a fucking headache for the Queen.
Yeah. Yeah.
With her fucking philandering. Not philandering. Like, who'd fucking want to be with Prince Charles?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Have you seen have you guys watched The Crown?
Nah.
It's actually pretty good, and it's about that. It's about Princess Diana and all that, and it goes through all the bullshit that I guess she would have dealt with in that time. And I don't think the Queen was too happy about it. But it was pretty good. Whether it's true or not, it's going to be Hollywooded up. But I don't know how she dealt with it.
Yeah, I might have watched it. I can't remember, but I do remember seeing a video snippet of her getting harassed by the paparazzi at a ski resort with her children. And you could tell by her body language, she was just like, leave me the fuck alone, I'm with my family, you know. And like, old mate seemed to just have his fucking finger in his ass sort of thing, just didn't care. And she was a saint, an absolute saint, old Diana.
Well, she did a lot of
the AIDS work and all that in Africa that her son sort of took over before he joined the military. I don't know if he still does it or not. I don't know, but
I think both him and Meghan still do stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, hang on. Yeah, that's how they got together. Was in Africa. He took her over.
That's not how they got together, I don't think, but it's how they spent time together.
Yeah. That's probably a better way to put it.
I thought he just watched an episode of Suits and was like, oh, fuck, she's hot, I'll go there.
Didn't we all?
I didn't watch Suits, mate. Fucking don't
I
care
like
about that
Suits
shit.
for like
Suits was
multiple
good, yeah.
seasons, and then right at the end, I was like, "Fuck this." It's another one of those series like
It gets repetitive.
too many series, and they run out of good ideas, and it just dies in the ass. It's a bit like Walking Dead. Like you just keep watching it because you're like, "Oh, I've got this far," and it just fucking peters out something.
It's kind of a bit like the Assassin's Creed game. It's just got repetitive real quick.
Correct.
Computer games in general.
No, Assassin's Creed, 100% prime example because you're like, oh, fuck, they made a new one. Wonder what's different. Absolutely fucking nothing.
It's just a reskinned original version.
Yep.
That's what it is.
We got pirates this time. Cool. Or, it's fucking shit. I'm off.
About 98% of our listeners are like, yeah, win a game.
No, there'd be a fair portion.
Oh, so Diana,
Yeah, all right.
there's 2 yeses and 1 no.
Who's no?
You.
No, I'm not a no. I'm just saying that it was influenced, but it wasn't caused.
Yeah, I reckon 100%.
They had the hand to play in that.
What do you reckon the Queen was like, she said out loud, I wish Dino would be dead, and then just someone made it happen.
No, I feel like the harassment and bullshit that was caused by that caused a, I guess, a mindset that probably wasn't the best, and therefore created stupid decisions.
See,
I
how
think she
did
got
the
away.
car accident actually happen? Because
It was in a tunnel. I
Yeah.
can't remember the precise details now, but there was
It was a tunnel, and the guy was like
alcohol.
half cut
Yeah, it
as
was,
well.
yeah.
oh, so 100% they've
and they were-
ejected him with like pure fucking ethanol.
And they were, fleeing out the back of a hotel trying to get away from the paparazzi.
Yep.
And then a paparazzi bike, I think, was coming up behind them. This is what I've heard. And they were fleeing that, and then somehow veered across a tunnel and hit something and flipped over and rolled the car.
Paparazzi bike.
Oh, you ain't
in
swerving for a
inverted
fucking
commas.
bike, man. So you're just going to hit it. Keep
Paparazzi bike, inverted commas. Meanwhile, it's fucking MI6 just shot out the back tyres and they crashed.
running. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
This is full James Bond
We'll
shit,
go with
man.
it.
I'm sure.
100%, man. It was that era as well where sort of like, I guess you're coming out of the Cold War, so spooks were a big thing. MI6 was obviously quite active in amongst the Cold War, as far as we know. We don't truly know, but we presume. So, yeah, 100%. They're just going to be like, this isn't right. Fucking, this is going to fuck up the crown. Let's get rid of her. And she probably knew shit as well. Like,
But that's what the crown was, man. Like, they protected themselves above all else.
oh, they did. And she probably knew shit that would have sunk a lot of people, man. So they're probably like, well, if she leaves, there's a risk of her talking. Let's just cut ties now.
Yep. No. All right. So I think we're all kind of on board. Moon landing.
Fake.
I reckon it happened. But
On Earth.
I'm not sure if they fucking it happened on Earth. Like they say the film, like you see the videos of the filming of the landing or whatever. I think they filmed that afterwards, or had pre-recorded.
My dad said he watched it live on telly.
Most of anyone who was alive then did.
Could you really watch it live back then?
100%. They had live television in 1969 or whatever it was.
I think it's fake, man. Like,
Fake?
I beg the question, why the fuck haven't we been back? And I think that's a valid thing. Not to mention, who's that astronaut? He's come out and turned around and said it was bullshit.
Buzz Aldrin.
That's it, Buzz. Yeah. He's turned around and said, no, it's fake.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay.
I mean, there was a lot to gain. So there was the space race between Russia and America.
Mm.
So, look, I'm not ruling it out because there was the race to be the first. So what better way to do it than
It's motivation.
fake the whole fucking thing?
Mm.
But, I mean, that's a lot of money to fucking spend because surely there's like the space shuttle taking off. Where do they go? Is it Cape Canaveral or some shit?
Yeah, yep.
So the space shuttle's got to launch from somewhere because there's a crowd going to gather to watch that happen. So that's got to happen.
Yeah, but you can launch something.
You can't just cut to a studio.
Insane.
You can't just cut to a studio
Smoke and
and then
mirrors.
some people are on a fucking. You got to actually launch something for people to go. Oh, the shuttle's up.
Yeah, but whether people got in there and actually went to the moon, I mean, that's pretty easy to sort of dodge up, and then they can just shoot the rocket into the sky, and that's it. Like everyone's like, "Oh, there's people on that."
Especially back then, like 1969. Yeah. Not everyone's got a camera phone,
and no one's questioning shit back then either. Really,
no one had a camera phone back then. But anyway,
fucking oath. So
except for the time travelers.
Right. So you could just launch up into the atmosphere far enough for people not to really be able to see you.
I love this episode, by the way.
Travel like a couple of states over, land again.
Yeah.
Maybe in Area 51.
Doesn't even have to land, mate. You can shoot into space, it becomes junk, and you're good. You know,
kill two birds with one stone. Like the fucking shuttle transforms into a UFO looking thing and lands in Area 51.
I watched a little bit of a documentary about there was this astronaut. He said that it's common practice. Every astronaut goes through it before they go into space. Is they're actually not allowed to talk about what they see up there, because seeing unidentified flying objects or something weird that's not a human is quite common, and they're under oath to not say anything.
Yeah, I feel like you're getting to a certain age and you're being like, nah, fuck this, I'm going to fucking tell everybody.
Yeah, there's got to be that, and probably they might start filtering out. But yeah,
aliens aren't fucking real anyway, so.
Then we can start talking about the dark side of the moon.
I don't think it's out of the question that it's fake.
Neither.
I'm more inclined to think it's fake than real. For exactly what you said, Josh. Like, why haven't we been back? Why do we just do it once? I think it's because there was a race on to fucking try and do it. And then once someone had done it, what's the point? Like, you can't fucking inhabit it. You can just say, I was the first one to be on the moon.
Maybe the Russians have it already and we actually can't go back. Like,
fucking put a big.
You're not going to hear about Russia being on the moon, and they're not going to tell you about it either. So they've got their first intergalactic military base on the moon, and they're using that for their launch pad to Mars.
I think we would have heard about it by now if they were, and I'm sure a telescope.
No, they're on the dark side of the moon, man.
You reckon?
Yeah. Well, if you're going to build a base on the moon, you're going to build it on the back side of the moon.
I guess just take some firewood up there and fucking have a fire to keep yourself warm.
Comfort fire. Need it up there, mate. It'll be cold.
You want to be like resourceful with your wood, because you wouldn't get it anywhere else.
Oh, fuck no. Just all in one night and keep warm, and then you're like, well, we're fucked. Fucked anyway, we're not getting back to Earth. See, this begs another question, man, because there's a lot of videos going around now of space crews like saying they're not actually in space on a space station, and they're being held up by cables or in one of those dive tanks, and they've just like CGI'd the water out and the cable out or whatever.
You see like their clothing sort of like pinched away from their bodies and stuff like that.
Yeah, and there was one video, and this is the worst thing about technology, is because anyone can sort of dock a video. But there was a video I saw of one dude, and one of his feet has been sort of like blurred out. And they're like, oh, look, it's a hoax because they haven't cropped his whole body in. And I'm like, well, it's just as easy to get rid of that foot and say it's a fake than it is to crop them into a picture or something like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, there was one where like he was like rotating in the ship or whatever it was, space station. And you see him rotating through, and then he sort of like, as he was finishing up, he sort of seemed like he grabbed something that wasn't on his hip, but it was attached to his hip.
Yeah.
So they were saying cables, so he could actually turn and spin. And he grabbed that to stop himself spinning.
Interesting.
That makes sense. I think they're in space. I don't think we've been to the moon.
Yeah, fair enough.
And wouldn't you think, like, just say, I just thought of this before. So Elon Musk wants to go to Mars, But wouldn't you use the moon as a staging ground to either practice what you're going to do? Like you need somewhere to practice your sort of actions on, I guess you can call it, for when you actually get to Mars. So the moon would be perfect for that. It's closer. And if something does go wrong, it's probably easier to either get back or to send more resources.
Well, speaking of resources, something I've never got my head around is how much money is spent on like space programs and
It's crazy.
space exploration, like the billions and billions of dollars. So I've always thought, why the fuck are we spending all that money on trying to get into space? Wouldn't that be better used here on Earth? But then I'm like, well, what perfect way to fucking funnel some funds off to something else than put it under space exploration or a space program and actually be using it for something else?
It's a good
Oh, so you reckon it's like almost a smoke and mirrors sort of account that it goes elsewhere.
That's my off the cuff fucking little conspiracy of my own. Like this
like
money is not getting used for fucking getting us into space. It's for something else. Because where's the fucking fruit of it, man? Like, are we on the moon? Are we going to Mars? Like, are we really?
Yeah. If there was any point in time where everyone on the Earth actually unified, it'll be if or when aliens are real.
They're not. So look, this is just fucking
No, but just say if there was. So you said start this podcast need to keep an open mind, Josh.
Ooh, you've been schooled.
So if or when they're real, that would be the time where like crazy amounts of money will go to that. And it would probably be spent less on war.
Find a common enemy. Like I've heard plenty of times, like after a 9/11, people have said, like, for example, Joe Rogan, that it unified America. So, you know, there's all of a sudden a common enemy, a shared experience amongst millions of people all at once, and everyone sort of rallied and unified and like
public support.
Yeah, like American pride, all this sort of stuff, because, you know, there's one single event that affected everyone. If aliens attacked all of humanity, then surely people would fucking band together across countries. You wouldn't even need governments.
You wouldn't even need an attack from aliens. You just need to know that they're present. That would create a risk.
Or someone would just try and be the first to make contact and somehow harness whatever advantage. The Russians would be trying to get.
Nah, this day and age, people would be like,
weaponry and
just want to have sex with one.
That's
how fucked
the French
world is.
The French or the Germans would try and fuck them first. Try fucking alien first. I don't know.
Nah, they're not real, so that's not even going to happen.
See, if they came to Australia, though, we'd just have a beer with them. It's fine. Just come down here.
Well, speaking of aliens, Josh, Area 51, what's your take?
Ooh. On what? Like, what is it? The existence of Area 51 or the contents inside of it?
Well, interestingly, I read in a list earlier today that it's one of those ones that's been proven to be true. It's not necessarily called Area 51, but there is a place that exists. Like, it's an actual spot that exists.
Yeah, there is.
Where they do the testing and all that sort of stuff. But what do they have there? What do you reckon? Is it just fucking like in the movies? So like Indiana Jones, for example, they go to Area 51 and there's just all this fucking secretive shit all in a fucking storage.
Yeah, which would sound cool.
Which sounds very cool. And that's what my idea of what Area 51 is.
I've heard of dudes getting flown out there, like on a daily. They work there. So two sides to this story. So guys getting flown on a private jet every day to go work there. And they don't talk to anyone. They've got their own terminal or whatever. I've then heard another side to the story where people live and die underneath the Area 51 and do research. That's their life. That's it. They don't actually leave. I think Area 51's been burnt, personally. I think maybe at one stage it was burnt. It's too common dog fuck now. People know about it. Man, what's to stop a kid going in there and
I thought you meant literally burnt.
I
thought you meant literally burnt by fire.
Yeah, that's why.
No, like, burnt.
Compromised?
Yeah, burnt.
Yeah. Spoiled?
So,
Like-
oh my God, you both know exactly what I mean. You're just
I
being
literally
pedantic.
thought you
No,
meant.
did
I
You both
literally
aren't
thought-
fucking real.
I literally thought you meant burnt by
I
fire.
thought it went up in flames when Australia did.
I reckon it's been burnt. So I reckon it's just like a glorified fucking storage area now. They've moved to another location, or not even like offshore even.
So you reckon it's like, watch this hand while this hand's over here doing the
Now,
real shit.
At one stage, yeah, it was probably a testing ground for like new military tech, and as we know, like DARPA and all that's supposed to be however many years advanced. So they need a place to test that stuff out of the view of common people. And yes, I think it was certainly used one stage for that.
I reckon, like, I want to believe that aliens exist. So I'm going to go with that and say that it is kind of what we know, but we don't know it all.
What makes you remotely think that aliens exist, man? Apart from Hollywood.
Well, just because of the reason that we're here, therefore it's possible.
See, I'm conflicted.
You
'cause-
can't say it's not, but you can't say it's not possible because we're here.
No.
And yes, if you want to take it to a religious point of view, then he's created all these other planets and solar system. Why can't he do it to another?
That's how special we are. That makes us. That gives us our value. Is the fact that
But, like-
we are the only ones in the solar system.
All right,
In his plan,
let's just think of Earth as like his child. People have more than one child.
he does. He has 8 billion and it's growing.
Yeah, but like this is like
What's to say that?
What if
hang
you
on,
had
hang on. There's other
Maybe it's from a previous marriage, Josh? Come on.
other planets out there, man. There are. So why wouldn't you consider the sun his son, Mars his son? Why wouldn't you consider Pluto in that case?
Like, yeah,
If
if
you're
he's
talking about a
created
physical thing.
the solar system, then yes, it would be. It was his creation. But
Yes. So, but the fact that we're the only life in the universe just shows us how special we are.
mathematically, we wouldn't be the only ones.
No,
You couldn't.
it's incorrect. That's what makes you think mathematically. So you're talking about probability, right? So the probability that there's life within our system, our Milky Way, and we haven't come across it, and we've
Well,
travelled.
it's not necessarily the Milky Way, but it's a stretches.
Well, that's
beyond
probability. So chances are that if life was real, there would be something in our system that would have been
that. Maybe.
that we would have come across. If you're talking about evolution and everything, surely something would have evolved by now to be on some sort of same level of intellect as humans are, and
they'd want to
have
be
the
higher,
same
but anyway.
same sort of space travel as we have, same resources. We'll say for argument's sake. So,
Well, if they're the same as us, then we wouldn't have seen them.
what's the furthest? How far have we shot? There's like a shuttle out there that takes cameras and sends it back to Earth.
It's not a
And
shuttle; it's a
craft
it's a
or whatever.
drone.
And it just goes out and it's basically headed in one direction. That's its life. So essentially, if someone out there has the same technology and the same intellect, we've doubled our distance from the time that's been in space. If they're at the same level, so we're suddenly now we should have collided by probability at some point. So we should
that's
have
a very-
identified their
yeah.
shuttle.
You
Why are you
think about this,
laughing?
say, like,
I don't understand why you're laughing.
I'm laughing because you're 4 Jim beams in, and this is just getting good.
Forging what?
it's
4 Jim beams.
it's a great
in.
episode.
What I
It's,
can't,
that-
what I can't.
That satellite, Josh, you were talking about. So that's we need fucking what's his name on here
Jamie,
again?
young Jamie.
Hey, nah.
Oh,
Range Derp.
not a Google person. Yeah.
No, we need Range Derp on here. He would know. But anyway, that satellite that's been shot off and it's going in one direction. It's been, I think it's well past Pluto by now. But I think that takes like a month just to transfer a single image back to Earth. That's that far away. But yeah, anyway, that's like you think of a 360 sort of. Like obviously, we could have shot that off from anywhere from 360 degrees, and the chances are possible, but therefore it's not common. And you shot like a pinpoint zone.
But you're talking about probability, man. So the probability, the further it travels, the greater chance it collides into other life is. So the further it's out there, even if we're getting a month delay in the transmission,
the chances
doesn't matter.
The chance is not 100%.
It's still probable that we would know by now. So, like some dude on Joe Rogan said, they're either already here or there's none in existence. And you know what? Personally, like I believe God created the heavens and the earth. So I believe that we are uniquely special and created in His image, and there is no other life in the universe. And that's sort of where I go with it, man, because I kind of agree with the fact that there's nothing. Otherwise, they would be here by now.
I
love it how you did say that you wanted to keep an open mind to everything, and then you're the one that's being so fucking streamlined that you don't want to step off it.
No, look, I get you. I get that, you know, there could be, for argument's
sake. So you
sake.
say there's a chance.
Look,
it could be.
As a parent, you try and tell all your kids that they're special and unique. So if you're the creator,
don't fuck up now, Caleb.
Yeah, I know. But if you're creator of the universe, sure, you're going to tell this bunch of people over here that you created that they're special and unique. What I can't fathom is This is because I had the same fucking upbringing as you, right? The same belief system. But what I still cannot fathom is if galaxies, universes are as big as they calculate, right? Which blows my mind in how fucking big they say
it's
a
infinite.
universe or
it's
a
expanding.
Exactly. How big it is.
Infinite.
Why does all that fucking space exist for one tiny little planet to carry the only life there is? It doesn't make sense to me on a probability scale that there is nothing else out anywhere.
That's how special we are, man.
Yeah, but
that's how that.
Or is it just how isolated we are from where something else exists?
I don't think the existence of space itself relies on the fact of life needing to be here.
See, God is outside of space, like mass, time. Otherwise, he wouldn't be God. So I think that it's that simple.
That
I really do. I think we just dilute it with the what ifs. And
is this it?
It's whatever you want to fucking hitch your cart to, though.
Did we just switch conspiracy theories and we went to religion?
No, we're talking about space, man.
Well, there's enough conspiracy theories within that as in itself, man. Let alone what do you ever want to have like some conviction about of your own accord. I think you just have to fucking run your own race, really, and believe what you want to believe.
Well, if God is an outside space, time, and matter, how is he God? He certainly wouldn't be worth worshipping if he was bound by those things. So how far-fetched is it to think that the 8 billion people on this planet and those who were and have passed are that special, and those who will be are that special? I don't think that's a hard thing to comprehend. And I think that us trying to find life out there, and I get it, people want to be adventurous and, you know, make their mark on the world and find new things. But I think removing the fact that we're so special out of our existence, out of our mind, is a detriment to who we are.
I think our time and resources are better served fucking sorting out the issues on Earth rather than trying to work out if there's other life. I 100% agree with you there. But, I do struggle to think that there's zero possibility of anything else existing.
Look, there might be microbes or fucking a variant of AIDS or fucking something fucking wriggling around on some ice.
But like,
I can't deny that, like, how everything is designed here is pretty fucking special, right? Like, how life exists, how animals are designed, how humans are designed, all that sort of shit. But having a design background, you have a couple of bit of trial and error. You have some rough drafts and stuff before you have the final finished product. So what's to say that there isn't fucking another planet out there, fucking
Just
mod
trial
one,
one and trial
version
two. Yeah.
1 and version 2. And
Who
what's,
said we're the last version?
yeah, and what's to say we're not
that's simple
version 4
because we were
and we're just
made-
going to implode as well?
That's pretty simple because we were made in God's image. So that just completely my mind.
Yeah, but doesn't
shuts
he
down
tell
our
that to
argument,
all
mate.
his creations?
No, because it. No, that
Father Christmas all over again,
Once
Josh.
again, if he didn't get it right all over like from the beginning, well, he wouldn't be
Perfect.
perfect, and he is perfect. So, and we're created
Yeah, but
in
generally-
his image.
Generally,
So,
the people that say they're perfect are far from it.
well, careful, man.
But anyone listening to this would find what you're saying no harder to take on board than aliens exist.
Oh, look,
Like, there's no
but
difference
that's
to the
a leap
casual
of
observer.
faith. Look, and that's I guess why there aren't more Christians out there, because at some point in your life you're believing in at the start what seems like an untangible thing when you're talking about God. And yeah, okay, you could flip it the other way and say, "Oh, I believe in aliens," and it's an intangible thing. It's just a thought. But so look, I don't have the answer for that, but yeah, it could go both ways.
Just whatever you
That's
choose to
what they
hitch your
call it.
wagon to, man.
Yeah, that's why they call it a conspiracy, man. You don't have to have the answer. You just have an opinion. You've given yours.
I believe we're pretty unique and pretty special, and you know, if there were aliens out there, or there was like this trial design or whatever, well, it would detract from how special we are. And I do think you're right, Caleb. We worry about these issues way too much when we haven't fucking sorted out Earth.
It's a distraction.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, dear.
All right. How long is this list of yours, Caleb?
There's a few more.
Oh, who cares?
A couple more.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying.
No. Well,
This is good.
If
This is good.
like religion's one that definitely people will either be on board or not, or sometimes people jump on for a bit and then they go, "Yeah, I've had enough of this. I'll try the next thing." So run your own race. How people arrive at their decisions is completely subjective to whatever. But here's another one: flat Earth.
Oof.
When you grow up in school and they teach you the Earth is round and about gravity and all this sort of stuff, and you sit there and you go, but why don't we fall off if we're down the bottom of the Earth and all this sort of stuff? And then there's
Gravity's.
this theory out there that the world's just flat.
Yeah, but that's not how gravity works.
I know, but it
Well, again, that's not how gravity is taught to us.
correct. These are all just constructs that have been installed in us.
Look, you can see that. If you were on the ocean, you put a buoy out. I think it's 33 miles that you can see from like the typical deck of a large ship. So if you put that buoy out past 33 miles, at some point it disappears, right? It's that simple. So it's going to be curved. The world's curved. Otherwise, you'd be able to see the buoy.
Yeah. I watched a video on YouTube, probably one of my dark dives into YouTube. And this guy showed this. He's like, to the eye, you couldn't see half of this fucking light tower. Fucking
Lighthouse.
Lighthouse?
what do you call it? Lighthouse, that's the one. He's couldn't see half this lighthouse. And it's like visually, he goes, you would just think that the ocean is covering half that lighthouse, therefore it's a curve. But he zoomed in his camera, and it was actually the mirage of the water that blocked the light coming through that area. And through the camera zooming in, you could see the full lighthouse.
At what distance?
So,
You keep going out
It
till
was like,
forever?
it was crazy. Like through the camera, I couldn't see everything. He just showed zoom amount on his phone, on his camera, to give those perspectives.
So, all right, so let's put this into shooting, I guess.
Not that I think it's a flat Earth, but it would make sense. I'd kind of half understand the fact that if it was flat, that would tell everyone it's curved. just for military gain?
Look, I don't know where I'm going to go with this, but it is true. So if something's spinning right, you've got a thing called centrifugal force, right? So if you shoot in the Western Hemisphere and say you're shooting to the east, your bullet will tend to the left, right? It'll tend to the center of the world. Vice versa in the Northern Hemisphere, and obviously if you're shooting to the west, it's different. Once again, it tends to the right. So that right there is telling you that we're spinning, okay, and we must be a sphere.
What if we're a disc spinning like a top that you spin on a fucking table? We're a disc.
Right there, I can't fucking compute that because I'm like, if there's enough force of a spin to affect a bullet flying that fast, why do we not feel like we're going to fucking just fly away at all times?
No, that's the same as
because we're at a constant, mate.
No, that's the same as throwing a tennis ball up in a car. Why does the tennis ball not fly back? It's because it's in its own little environment in that movement.
Well, no, it has obviously this. The way that I could say this is we're at a constant. When you're in a plane, it doesn't feel like you're moving, but you're moving fucking 400 k's an hour plus. Fucking hell, you can still get up and walk. Yeah, you can still get up and move, can't you?
Yeah,
same sort of concept. Because we're at a constant speed, a constant rotation, or we're not feeling. I think if that was to stop, we'd certainly be like, "Whoa, what the fuck?"
Oh, fuck it! If it stops suddenly, yeah, that'll
like
hurt.
You'd notice the difference. And this is the other way you can sort of tell. Like, well, an example: when you're on a boat and you've been on a boat all day long, you sort of get used to the rocking, and you're like, "Yeah, okay, whatever." And then you step on solid land and you feel like you're rocking still, but you're on solid ground. You're not moving with the waves, are you? But you're still feeling like it. There's that constant change, that stop, that period where it's really abrupt, whereas the world doesn't stop.
I get what you're saying. How much of an effect on a bullet are we talking though? Like tending to the right.
Well, it depends on the distance, man. If you could shoot 10 Ks, it's going to have a larger effect than shooting 100 meters, man.
Wait, Josh. So if the Earth is spinning right, and fuck, I had the word in my head, but I forgot it. What's the term when a bullet moves because of the spin? Spin drift, is it?
No. That's with your rifling. That like
No. Like just
Coriolis.
not the rifling. The Coriolis.
Spin drift is something different.
But does that affect the bullet consistently across any part of the southern hemisphere, depending on direction you shoot?
It is like there is a measurable.
Because if you shoot along the axis of its spin, it shouldn't affect it.
Well, yeah. So it's less the closer to the equator that you get. I'm presuming the effect is less. I don't know. I haven't shot near the equator, so I can't.
But like if you shoot from the southern equator, like this is direction, southern equator to north equator, kind of thing, that direction, the spin drift would have more of an effect, like the Coriolis effect would have more of an effect on the bullet than if you shot left to right with the spin.
Yeah, definitely. Well, yes, I'm presuming if the world's spinning to the right, it's going to have a tendency to go right. If you're shooting north, south, or southeast.
Well, the world's on like an axis. It's not like it's directly north south and spinning. It's like off.
No, it's kind of tilted. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I look.
I just thought then. I thought it was interesting.
But right there, we can say that okay, the world's not flat just with that. The fact that we shoot and we know these things, and we know that there's measurable sort of things happening to that projectile when it's in flight, to know that okay, the world's not flat.
But you're not shooting in a vacuum though. Like that's what. There's not any. You haven't mitigated every external factor. So like,
there's other factors applied for it, but it's still a measurable, predictable.
Is it? So if you shot like due west, like fucking 100% just west, right? a K, no wind anywhere along that kilometre, 0 wind. How much would your bullet move right or left?
This is why I'm saying distance and time of flight is going to come into a factor.
I get you.
With certain speed, if you've got a faster projectile, it's obviously going to have less of an impact because the bullet has less flight time, right? So it's in motion for a shorter period of time.
Fuck me.
If it's slower at the same distance, larger error. If you're shooting further,
Yeah.
I've got more time to play on it.
I'm
Yeah,
hearing
do you reckon
what you're
it
saying.
depends on if you shoot against the spin or with the spin?
That's literally what I was just thinking then.
Technically, the bullet's going quicker or slower.
Like, which way does the Earth spin? I have no idea. If you're shooting east,
wanna say
is it different to
clockwise.
west? Like, I don't know.
yeah. Look, if you took out every
That's a
other
good concept.
if you took out every other variable, like the fact that we're shooting through oxygen and the fact
We
that
need to
got
get someone on
wind,
here that actually knows.
This is where you need someone like Dr. Karl Kruzelnitsky or whatever his name
Yeah.
is, on the dude on Triple J, the old guy. He just fucking knows a lot about everything.
Should we try and get Taboris Rex?
Who?
Did you ever watch a lot of his videos? Taboris Rex?
No.
He stopped doing a lot of shooting videos. He's into a lot of Christian stuff now, so I haven't really watched it. But
Just fucking jump right off.
he's good. He's good. He seems to know a lot of shit.
he's a pretty knowledgeable bloke. But so jump back onto it.
Yeah,
The world's not fucking flat because we know that.
Yeah, I don't think it's flat. I think it's round.
I got it's flat, just to be different.
But like, to my mind though, unless you can like fucking just all of a sudden jump out into space and look at it from a distance, how do you really know? Because you're always looking at it from your perspective as a human being. Like, it's very limited. Or from a plane at the very best.
I had this
still
conversation at work.
It looks
a while
flat
ago,
when you're in a
like,
plane as well. But we're all told it's round.
had a conversation at work. This is years ago. Just talking shit as you do. And we had the flat earth conversation and like, oh, it's actually a donut, but the vastness in between, you don't actually see the ring. And it's just a blue haze.
Oh shit. We're fucking actually on a turtle's back and the turtle's swimming through space, bro.
Whoa.
That would be cool.
Imagine if we were high for this episode.
It'll be pretty sick, actually.
Do we?
Do we?
Maybe number
when
two.
it becomes legal.
Maybe tinfoil hat 2.
when it becomes legal in Australia.
Oh man,
We'll
this
just travel
episode
for
would
it,
feel
man.
like it's gone 10 years for me right now.
Oh, fuck. All right, next one, JFK. Who whacked him? He's obviously shot, but who did it?
I reckon, yeah, he was upsetting the wrong people.
Yeah, same.
I'm not sure who.
I mean, he definitely got whacked, let's be honest. But
Oh, well, 100%.
old mate that got framed for it, well, I say framed.
Was it a random guy or a setup? Is that what
Was
you're
it Lee Harvey Oswald or was it actually a different shooter? I think when Mossy was on the podcast, go back and listen to his episode. Mossy had some reasonable fucking knowledge on the
He did.
subject, or his old man did or something.
Well, Mythbusters disproved the whole ice bullet. That wasn't a thing.
The ice bullet.
Wasn't there something about an ice bullet with JFK? Pretty sure.
First time hearing of it.
Was there a bullet recovered? Otherwise, there wouldn't be a conspiracy with ice bullets.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know enough about it to really comment, but I do think he was pissing off the wrong people.
He was, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to say he was off, just like as in government, just because that sounds interesting.
Look, I would 100% say CIA responsible, but who pulled the trigger?
He was trying to collapse the CIA. He was basically wanting to like dissolve it, I believe. There's a couple of other things that he was trying to do at the same time. I can't remember what they were.
Like, while we're on like the presidents and stuff like that, watched a video yesterday and they were saying that every president of the United States has a lineage back to I forget the king's name, but back to this certain king. They all have ties, and they think that to be president, you're pre-selected within the people that are running to who has the closest tie to this king.
What the fuck?
If you just have a look for that one.
How do you explain Obama then?
Oh shit!
Because there's another.
Wait, is Michelle a dude?
Oh, I don't know.
Is she?
What?
Have you seen that one?
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Oh, they reckon Michelle Obama's a dude.
Really?
Yeah, that's another conspiracy. Wow, we're diving deep here.
She's just a well-built woman. Like, not well-built as in attractively built, just like solid, just tall and mannish. I don't think that means she's a dude necessarily.
No, I'm sure it doesn't, but that's nuts being like your lineage being traced back to one king.
But if it was, I kind of want it to be true because it'd be.
Well, if Joe Biden's the closest,
really
we're all
interesting.
fucked.
I mean, it would explain if that's how you qualify why there's such fucking duds.
And it's just a hoax that you have a vote.
Not that they really fucking actually run the country, though. They're just the puppet.
No, they're a
or the
puppet.
spokesperson, yeah.
They still have a large amount of sway, man. And the final say with a lot of things. But yeah, they're not the be all and end all.
Yeah, but who's pulling the strings? They might have the say,
Exactly.
but who's telling them what to say?
Well, with old
They're the fall guy.
With
They're the
old
fall
Joe,
guy if something goes wrong.
that's definitely someone. Someone's definitely writing his cue cards.
Joe is the fall guy, that's for sure, literally. He fucking falls over every 5 seconds. The cunt can't stand up.
Yeah.
He's going to get assassinated one day and fall off stage, and people are going to be like, oh, there we go again.
He would have been kicked out of an office, out of an office environment by now, rather than being president of a country.
Yeah, no shit.
Oh yeah, if you employed him, you'd sit down and be like, "Hey Joe, look,
Maybe
you're a
it's
good
time.
fella. I love having a cup of tea with you, fucking
Just gonna have to let you
at
go.
11s, but yeah,
Your productivity's really dropped off, mate. Like, you can't be having a cup of tea
maybe it's time to
5 times a
retire.
day.
We'll give you a severance package. All right, bud. Someone call security, please.
Oh, man.
Oh fuck.
I've worked with dudes like that. Like, not to that age, but just it's time for them to retire. And they're great blokes and they've done their job for many years, but they're past the use by date and the productivity just dies in the ass. They achieve absolutely fucking nothing. They're great people, but you're just like, what are you doing? Like, you've come into work, you fucking
Retire.
yeah, like retire. Yeah. Like, all you've done today is make 5 cups of tea, talk to 50 different people, like made the same excuse you've done for the last 3 weeks as to why you haven't done something. Like, just, wrap it up. It's time.
It's a hard one because they're like, I find like people that live to work or enjoy working, when they do retire, their health goes backwards real quick.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
So like,
I
kind of
think
sucks.
I think almost every son that has a present father sees that, like when their dad sort of stops or slows down. Like, I could see it with my dad when he went to retire and then went back to work just a few days a week, just dropping off that few days a week. Like, you just watch him age, like, and it's a real quick process. Within a year, you're like, wow, shit, you've changed, like, drastically.
Oh, 100%, man. I'm seeing it in my old man as well. Like, he hasn't officially retired yet, but he hasn't worked for a few months, like, since he was looking after mum before she passed. But just him just fucking going downhill since he's not, like, had to switch on and do that every day of working. It's not good to see, man. But
Is this my moment to get Josh back about at least you have a dog?
Well, about that, we're actually looking at you.
Let's not play that game. Let's not play that game.
We have a portrait
I
of
can play
dad.
it.
We have a portrait
But I
of
won't.
your dad on the table right now. Do you have a portrait up there with you?
Oh, is he still there?
Oh, he's still there. He's with us, man. He's
where
always
you-
with us.
Where you left
No,
him.
nice.
He's having a beer. Caleb's cracked a fucking hard cider for him. You
Oh, yeah?
changing up your drinks lately.
I like trying different things, man. And there's a mate of ours who drinks these hard ciders and swears by them. So I thought I'd try them because they were fucking cheap. It's like $24 for a fucking 6-pack. And they're 8.2%. So I'm like, I'll give it a crack.
And you're not going anywhere, so don't have to drive.
100.
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere either. Let's get crunk. Pretty sure your missus isn't going anywhere either. I'm pretty sure she's passed out on the couch.
Yeah.
when I walked out before.
She went to the bottle tonight and she found an alternative to the Rockford's Alicante, which is like
Ella what?
fuck me.
Alicante.
Anyone like women especially froth this rosé called, and it's by Rockford's and it's called Rockford's Alicante, and they don't sell it in bottle-os, so they do like limited runs. So if you go to Rockford's winery, you can buy it or you can like order it, but it's fucking rare. But when people get a hold of it, they froth it something chronic.
I had a mouthful before and it ain't nothing great. It tastes like fucking cat's piss meets chlorine.
You
Yeah, but you
tasted
start off on the good
tasted
stuff.
the alternative she just found, which costs $20 a bottle, which she claims is nearly as good.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I actually had some.
You start off with the good stuff, and then you work your way to the shit
Dude,
stuff.
you don't have to like rosé and white wine. I fucking hate white wine,
White wine's
and I don't
terrible,
like
man.
rosé either.
Yeah, no. Not unless it's the only thing to
Some
drink. If you
rosés
wanna
are
get
alright.
drunk.
Something all right.
Shut up. They're not good. I don't think all right, here's a fucking bold statement. If you're a bloke, don't drink white wine. It's for chicks.
No.
No.
Fuck right
Yeah.
off. I see blokes at things drinking white wine. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Is it white wine or bubbles?
Either way, champagne's even worse.
Oh, no, champagne's all right if you
Nah,
like
champagne's
the
fine.
toast.
If
the
you're at
one
a
glass
wedding
of
and you
champagne.
have to toast, fair enough on the champagne, but don't be drinking that shit like as a choice.
Oh, you're not going up to the bar and being like,
But yeah,
can I have a white, thanks, mate?
No bloke is craving some
you wouldn't go to a
white wine.
barbecue and bring your white bottle of wine.
No, you wouldn't. I'd usher you to the front door and be like, thanks for coming.
See you later.
Before the barbecue was cooked. Yeah, no, fuck that.
Yeah.
Shiraz is good,
Can
though.
you guys still
Get
hear
on
me?
it.
Why wouldn't we be out here?
No, one headset just dropped out.
Oh,
So-
you're going to charge one at a time, do you?
Well, no, one must be more charged than the other.
Actually, I have that problem because if you don't fucking put one in the case good enough, it charges one and not the other. Fuck me. It's terrible.
Yeah.
First world problems, man.
Just put it in the case correctly.
Yeah, but sometimes there's like a little build up of something or other.
Earwax. That's
Earwax,
fucked.
possibly, or just a little bit of grit. Like, because I'll quite often have mine in my pocket at work and there might be some dust and shit that gets in there. So, whatever.
Yeah.
It happens, man.
It happens.
It happens.
Bit of poo on your finger and you go to put them on your ears and you're stuck in there.
Anything's possible, man. If you don't wipe your hands or wash your hands, you might get poo on your fucking earbuds. All right,
you
do
don't
you
use
want
them
another
all
one?
the way.
Do you want another one or what?
I'm going to bring one up.
Change it up. Oh, you bring one.
I'll bring one up. And Couchy, this is your topic because we both wanted to talk about this.
Fucking shit.
Well, we changed the way we formatted this, but anyway.
And that's,
We're just freeballing.
Do you
Fucking
think-
whatever?
Port Arthur was a stitch up? We've had this conversation on the podcast before. But
We have, and I think it was.
you think it was?
Maybe not 100. It might have been a 100% stitch up or an aided attempt.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. You hear so many stories of the fact that at where was it, like a shopping center or a cafe where I think there were 16 or 17 people die, or a vast majority of them anyway. The time it took to kill that many people and the placement of those shots
Yeah.
was almost done by a professional. Therefore, Martin Bryant wasn't professional.
Fuck no.
He was a mediocre shooter.
I don't even think like it could have been done by one professional.
No, there was reports of there being multiple shooters at that site.
Yeah.
So, and the fact that the two coppers were called out to a town 2 or 3 hours away on that day was a bit sus as well.
It stinks a bit.
I don't think we're ever going to find out as well because
they locked it down for another 50.
Yeah, the government.
Even with the victims' families asking for a royal inquest. Yeah.
Royal Commission.
Yeah,
that's one.
How many survivors were there? I can't remember. Because, I mean, the perfect way to cover something up is to fucking kill everyone who's a witness.
I think
I can't remember how many people survived.
I definitely know there was one from the cafe, like inside the cafe. Because I remember hearing his testimony. But yeah, I couldn't tell you how many altogether.
And like another thing that sort of stunk a little bit was they was it a month prior to this happening, the morgue for some reason bought this crazy big almost like a fridge truck, but it was for bodies. And this unrealistic upgrade to the morgue. And then after the massacre happened, they sold off some stuff.
Yeah, that's
so it was almost like they prepared for it and then dealt with it.
I haven't heard that. That is a little bit strange. I don't know.
So not that I'm well versed in the fine details of it all, but
as I said, there's so many stories about with every conspiracy, and because of the internet, you can pretty much Google something and then pick an article that supports the way you think.
Confirmation bias.
How much? Will we ever know the truth? No, I don't think so. I do think it was maybe not planned, but maybe someone took advantage of a situation to restrict our gun laws.
It was a very knee-jerk reaction, so it was almost like they had plans in place prior so they can implement them quickly.
Yeah, or at least get public opinion on side to be able to do it en masse.
Even if just say if it was organic, what happened, then you can understand that they needed to do something to try and give a sense of security to the public.
Yeah.
But for example, I think all shooters across Australia have a different opinion on if it was right or wrong or variations of that. So for me, I think the benefits that came from that, not the benefits, but turns out probably was a better option, was probably a licensing thing and a registration. But I don't think that we should be restricted.
No. I agree completely, man. Like storage requirements, licensing, that's fine. I think you have to do that for a car, not storage, obviously, but, you got to go get a license for a car. I think that's more than acceptable. But following through with other restrictions and guidelines and things like that, I think that's starting to get a little bit ridiculous.
We're going to get a lot of hate for this, just for saying licensing and registration.
I don't think traceability is a bad thing.
Nah,
if there's firearms in circulation, you want to know who has them, but I don't think you should be restricted on what firearms you can have as long as they're registered. So what?
Yeah.
That's the issue. The restrictions is the issue, not knowing who's got what. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that, man.
I don't think anyone should just be able to stockpile 100.
As long as that information doesn't come into the wrong hands.
Yeah.
Then there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, I don't think you should be able to fucking stockpile 100 AK fucking 47s or AR-15s in your house and have no record of it.
All right, have no record's fine, but if you want 100 AK-47s,
but if there's a record of it, then fucking go for your life.
Yeah, fucking hell, do what you want. As long as they're registered, yeah, as long as they're stored right as well. And really, like, if you're a parent and you've got young kids around, why wouldn't you want to have correct storage of something that can drastically go wrong if it's, you know, if your kid picks
super
it up,
quickly, yeah.
you know.
And if you have 100 AR-15s, then you want them stored properly, because if anyone finds out you have them, then straight away you are a target for any criminal who's like, I can get myself 100 AR-15s by stealing them off this guy.
Yeah. Yeah, bloody oath.
So,
Which is, I can understand why you wouldn't want registration.
yeah.
But I can understand that, but I still don't believe that you shouldn't.
Yeah, so you are right, because there was a leak of firearm owners in one state. It might have been WA.
Sydney, wasn't it?
Or maybe somewhere.
I think it was WA.
I don't know. But they had leaked
They showed a
names
map of where they all are.
and, where they were.
Well, mate, I don't think they were exact locations. I think they were numbers of firearms in certain suburbs.
Yeah, but that still narrows it down for a criminal.
Yeah, narrows it down. Yeah.
Oh, we'll do some mass break-ins on, like, and target this area, and we might get some guns out of it.
Yeah, it's a fucking hotspot. Like, chances are 1 out of 5 houses here, or 2 out of 5, or 3 out of 5 in this area are more likely to turn something up.
That's why the best gun safe is a gun safe you can't see.
Correct.
Under your mattress?
No, like, as in, like, obviously everyone's going to store it in a gun safe.
That's not
But ideally,
practical.
it'd be
man.
nice to have a spot where you actually was sort of hidden
Can't
as well.
see the gun safe itself, yeah.
That's not practical.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
What do you mean it's not practical?
No, I'm not saying it's practical. I'm just saying it's probably ideal.
Yeah, true.
Anyway, just to answer the question before, 35 deaths, Port Arthur, 24 injuries.
Oh, there you go.
Plenty of
Theory.
survivors to tell a tale.
Yeah, there was plenty of people there, I think.
So there's enough
But yeah.
eyewitness accounts to be able to say, all right, there was 3 shooters, 4 shooters, fucking.
But then again, in a panic of a situation too.
Yeah, nah.
You're not going to be.
No witness account is fucking reliable under duress like that.
No. So they could pretty much sort of influence their witness report and say that no, everyone else has been saying there's 1 gunman. There's definitely hasn't been 3.
Yeah,
Are you sure you're not mistaken?
None of them would have had a bird's eye view. They would have been in different places.
Yeah, different angles.
And if they would have, I'm sure they wouldn't have 3 gunmen approach them. It would have been 1 gunman at any one time. So whether that gunman was the 1 gunman across all the spots, or it was 1 gunman in where they were, they would have just seen 1 gunman. I don't know.
But yeah, I think that's something that's probably close to a lot of hunters and shooters. But yeah, I just don't trust it.
It'd be nice to get the fucking tea, as the women these days say. The goss, the inside information.
No one says that. The tea. Fucking hell.
Oh, you can't talk, Josh, with your fucking sayings.
Fucking my missus is 8 years younger than me. I get some fucking sayings.
The tea. That's not a fucking thing.
I'm telling you.
Frothing some nuggets is
The
way
women
better
these
than that.
days,
Oh,
women,
you want
it's-
some
they don't,
fucking
they,
tea?
no one says
The tea.
No one says give me the goss. They say give me the tea. I'm telling you.
No, they don't.
I'm telling you, man.
Nah, it's not
I'm-
catching on, bro.
Bro, I'm connected to the
It's
20
not
somethings.
catching on.
I'm connected to the 20 somethings, bro.
All right, another one for you,
All right, let's keep it.
because he said he's connected to the 20s, so let's go young. This
Pedophiles are real, yes.
worldwide pedophile ring. Do you think that's a thing?
100%, man.
The worldwide pedophile ring.
Fucking hell, man. As soon as you're rich and powerful and you've got some sort of weird ass fetish, you have money and power to fucking do what the fuck you want. 100% that shit exists. They're a
We're moving into
pedophile.
Epstein territory.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%, man. That fucking happens.
Do you think Bill Gates is part of it?
I'm using a Microsoft product right now, man. I'm sure if I'm going to get whacked for
He's
anything,
listening.
I'm saying it would be over that more so than the 911. But, who knows, man? Who knows? The rich and powerful are rich and powerful enough to do what they want and then cover it up afterwards.
Yeah.
Make it disappear.
Oh, well, they know the right people to do it, yeah.
And once you get a taste for one little fucking indiscretion, then it just fucking snowballs. You want that next little fix of the illicit.
Mm.
So if there's some fucking weird cunt out there with money and he likes to fucking touch up little boys and he gets away with it, it's just going to snowball. And then his mates jump on board and then all of a sudden you got a pedophile ring. It's not
As
a
soon as you
conspiracy.
feel
it's-
powerful and unstoppable, you're not going to stop until you are.
And I'm like, if you've got enough money, okay, yes, an island, a secretive place to go do that thing.
Mm.
Of course. Fly all my rich and powerful mates in. Like, yeah, it's fucked, man. And I don't think we see everything that does go on in the seedy underbelly of like sex trafficking and pedophile rings and all that sort of stuff. That there's some fucking fucked up shit in the world, man.
Oh, there is. It shouldn't be a thing, man. I've had this discussion with my missus a few times, and I'm like, why is it even a thing? Preying on children. Like, it shouldn't cross anyone's mind, period. Like, I don't get it. I don't think I ever will get it. Why it's even a thing.
I think
I'm going to do a quick Josh break.
We've gone out of fucking conspiracy territory, and we're just in some people should just be put to death territory.
Well, I'm going to have a catchy break while he's having a Josh break.
What am I going to do? Just run a podcast by myself?
I'll leave you to it. You'll
All
figure
right.
it out big
Thanks, mate. Thank you. Well, I tell you what's going to happen is we're at the 2 hour mark, so we're going to wrap it up. But while these two are having the bladders of a small child and pissing, I've stuck it out. I have held my bladder. I'm 4 drinks in, which isn't a huge amount, but do you know what? I would like to take this opportunity to say a big thank you to everyone who has listened to this season of our podcast and all the previous seasons. And I do love the fact that you guys jump back and listen to our back catalogue of stuff. Look, without everyone who listens, we wouldn't exist. We love interacting with you all. Such a big thank you from the 3 of us for your listenership and putting up with our weirdness, our bullshit, our carry on. And without you guys, we wouldn't exist. So I have to say a big thank you from the bottom of my heart. And that sounds sloppy as shit, but deal with it. And it's the 20th episode of season 6. So it is the last one for a little bit. We've had a bit of a funny last few episodes, and it's really down to Couchy's situation with fucking being the other side of the fucking country. So we haven't teed up as many guests for you guys, but the plan is to get back on board with some more guests in season 7. We're going to take a small break just to get people on board and tee up a lot of that stuff and freshen up a few things, maybe do a few new ads, all that sort of gear. So, yep. As I mentioned, big thank you to all the listeners. Also, we got to thank High Caliber for supporting us. Rossi and all he does some great products. So make sure if you haven't already, jump on board and go to highcaliber.com.au. And of course, use the product code SendItMate for 10% off at checkout. There are still so many people that jump on board, go to High Caliber, purchase a bunch of stuff, but don't use the promo code. Use it. It's a free 10% off, guys. So get around it, support an Australian product, Australian business, and support us as well. That's the other thing. So if you like what we're doing, if you use that product code, it actually supports us as well. We'll put that out there. And also big thank you to Firearm Owners United, who do some really good work in fighting the crazy gun laws that get put up and challenging some things with some logic and some formality, which is a task that a lot of hunters and shooters out there don't want to take on board themselves. Someone's got to do it, and those guys do, and they do it on our behalf. So make sure you support Firearm Owners United as well. And they support this podcast, which comes to you every week. And the 2 boys are back.
We're back.
I've just done like a thank you to all the listeners because this is season 6, episode 20. Couchy was listening because he's got his AirPods in. Josh, you were absent. So I've kind of done
missed one.
What?
I think you exceeded yourself, Caleb.
Thank you, mate.
You've done well.
You missed one. I believe that you should be better.
Fuck. Well, you can fucking wrap
I
this up.
just want to put in there as well that I myself don't have any plans to leave this podcast, even though I'm in Briz. So unless these two want to kick me off, but
Oh, we're going to
yeah,
put
we'll
this
see.
out.
we're putting
We'll
this
see
to
where this
public.
takes us.
Yeah,
Is this
public-
going to public vote?
Yeah. Get
Yeah,
someone
okay.
new in.
Let's do a public vote, and if it goes against me, we won't listen to them.
We could just go to the goats, mate.
I think he just knows I'm not editing this episode, so he's shoehorning that in. Just as like a fucking disclaimer. No, good, bro.
Couchy will probably tragically die in a bathroom accident anyway sometime this week,
Yeah.
so that's fine.
I did not hang myself.
Fucking hell. Jeez.
Oh, shit.
Oh, we can't end it on that.
If
No.
I wound out dead, then these two, check them out.
We,
There you go.
Prime,
Yeah.
prime suspects for sure.
we're starting our own
Not sure
fucking
why,
conspiracy.
But
Nah, Caleb did miss one awesome bunch of lads down at Gunforce here in South Australia. So if you do want to support a local business and you're in South Australia, go check them out. They've got a huge range of awesome goodies.
Or if you're not, jump online as well and have a look.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, they're online now as well, so you check them out, buy some shit. They're obviously attached to Light Force, Night Force, and APRS, the best gunsmiths in town, I personally believe, but that's me.
You'd know, mate. You fucking buy more guns than the rest of us put together.
Because I'm not a skirt. I was going to say something else, but
you also sell more guns, but anyway.
Within
Trade them.
the reasonable amount per year so you don't get classified as a fucking dealer, but yes. More than
Yeah,
the
you could
average,
add that in.
more than the average man.
I did actually get to the range this weekend.
Oh, I like
And I did get to take my custom build, my 223 AOA out from APRS and finally got some 88s going through it. Didn't
I
have
was
the
going to
best
get you to take my
powder
23 there.
for
Fuck. To get circuit.
Oh, yeah, I can take it down, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can take
do
it
it.
down if you want.
Anyway, continue.
Or Caleb
Let's,
can.
let's not fucking delve into admin right now. No one needs to listen to this. We
Anyway,
just wrap up the podcast for the fucking season 6 with a bit of admin work.
oh, fuck you, I'm telling you what I did on the weekend. So I threw some
on,
88s
I-
down.
I'd like to second Caleb as well by thanking everyone for listening and supporting. And yeah, we couldn't have done it without these. If you aren't following us, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So go check it out.
Are we still on TikTok?
Yeah, I'm thinking about just canning it because TikTok's really not our friend for anything hunting or shooting.
It really isn't, is it?
No.
Apparently neither is
So-
YouTube.
The-
So
TikTok's a steady grow. There's people still following, and I haven't uploaded on there for a while. But I don't know. I'm not sure whether we just push our limits and see if we get banned, and then just move off them.
Let's just do something outrageous and get fucking canned before we do.
Yeah, let's do it.
well, it certainly ain't going to be taking your gun to fucking get coded because you just fucking booted me story. So
What was his story?
Was it just a fucking boring story or was it like actually decent?
you'd find it boring because you're not into it.
What?
Oh, let's
Reloading.
move on then.
Reloading.
Go on.
Oh, God.
okay.
No.
Yeah. Let's not bore the guys.
No,
at the end
no,
of
no. We
the-
set out to not talk about reloading on this podcast. That was our directive. That's one of our fucking key pillars. Not to bore people with reloading.
That's in
data.
our Senate mate policies, Josh. That there's just no more reloading.
The 5 key pillars of Senate,
Mate,
mate.
when
will
we
not talk
wrote
about
the Constitution, I don't believe seeing fucking Sir Shannon Couch on the fucking signature.
Uh,
All right?
in the Constitution, man.
Anyway, do you have any parting thoughts for the great listeners out there who put up with that drivel for another season?
Don't use 2208 for your 223, actually.
So you get back on a reloading. Good work.
Yeah.
It's a very specific bit of advice.
I just wanted to like etch it in. Because you used to cut us off. so
Well,
that's
for the
fine.
10 people out there that it applies to, there's some great advice from Josh.
Do you have any advice, Caleb? Stay out of yourself.
I was literally going to say that. But that's the domain of another podcast, so we won't say that. We've got our own catchphrase. Catcher.
Oh, God,
Yeah,
we need to change that. That's fucking
There's nothing wrong with it. It's distinctly
Right,
us.
Josh, you can change it. It's an individual input, so you can change yours.
It's getting thin. It's getting old. We need to adjust it up.
Well, do that, mate. Fucking sort yourself out. Come back in season 7 with some fresh new ideas, mate.
So, okay, we're going on a break. This is it.
I mean,
That's done.
Couch and I both know this. You left to take a piss. We've wrapped it up, mate. It's the end of season 6.
All right, I'll see you next holiday. After the next holiday. After this holiday.
You need a rest.
I do.
Fuck me, we're a shambles. Hope you enjoyed Tinfoil Hat. I reckon we should do this again. Let's do this again. Let's get a bit of listener input and go crazy.
He's preempted the fucking outro. He's fucking premature.
Or just on time.
No one's going to say catch you
got
now.
See you for season 7.
Turtle cuts.
Gotcha.
Love you.
You're G'day, dude and dudettes. Josh here. Do you find it hard to keep your long, hard barrels free from gun STDs? Maybe you need a clean out of your bore. If this is you, jump on over to highcaliber.com.au and use the promo code SENDITMATE to receive a 10% discount on all your gun cleaning needs. And remember, it's sexy to support Australian-made products. Everyone here at Send It Mate uses High Caliber, and we can promise you that it'll keep your firearms free from those pesky gun STDs.